Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys had a fantastic weekend. Let me know what you guys did down below in the comment section, but let's get back to finance world. Let's talk about AMC, what's going to be happening throughout this week, the data behind AMC that you guys need to know, and I will pre-reference this video by saying I am very bullish on what I am seeing with AMC stock on a technical basis, which we'll talk about, as well as some of the Ortex data and the catalysts we have over the next 2 weeks of trading. But AMC is no stranger to being either upheld a lot by the overall market trend or brought down a lot by the overall market trend, right? If the stock market is down 2 to 3% on any given day, which granted we have not seen recently, well, it's very hard for AMC to perform very well. That has only happened a couple days throughout 2022 where the markets are down a lot and AMC is up a lot, vice versa. At the same time, some days the markets are up a lot, like on Friday, and AMC stock was down a lot, but usually it doesn't happen that way. So we're going to dive into everything you need to know here in this video. Let's get straight to it. So AMC stock on Friday was down about 4.01% in regular trading, down about 1.06% in after hours. Now, let me bring you guys to the technical picture that we are looking at here. We are on a very beautiful trend line to the upside, and basically what I pointed out in the last video, why I think AMC could easily reach the $50 to $100 range during the next stage of this rally, is simply put, beyond everything else, usually when you see this kind of momentum, especially around a big positive catalyst like the ape share announcement, or back here in March when AMC acquired a stake in Highcroft Mining, the rally overall tends to end on a very strong green day, especially if you've seen a lot of bullish momentum and you're still sitting at the higher end levels. Usually you will see that 50 to 100% day to end off a rally. Now, it does not mean a rally has to end after a day like that, but it's more likely than not what we have seen. History has showed us with AMC, when you get those final big 50, 100% days, it tends to relax after that. Now, what we seen in March was exactly that, right? You had rallied quite substantially from $12 all the way up to $20 per share. This was almost a 100% rally from the bottom to the top, and you really consolidated out, traded sideways in between about $18.50 and about $21 on the higher end range for about 3 days, and then you got that 45% day. AMC stock hit a high the next day of around $34.32 per share, but then the rally was subsequently over once we hit the 200-day moving average, got rejected. As you guys know, we did get halted, and I had some people in the last video say we didn't get rejected off the 200-day moving average, we got halted down, and that's true, but we also did get rejected at this teal 200-day moving average. Now, what we have seen with AMC as of recently is, yes, we did see an 18.87% day, which is a standout green candle, right? One, it's not to the same degree as March, but after that, we continue to rally. We have $27.49 per share, came down a little bit, and we have closed, at the higher than the close of this day. So the close of this day, which we hit $27.49 per share, we actually closed at $23.95 per share to close out the day, and we're currently sitting at over $24 per share. So we're at a higher close than this whole rally that we have seen so far throughout the month of August. So we closed at a high, and we're above the 200-day moving average. Let me point that out. 200-day moving average, this teal line, you're closing above that, and you're on a very solid uptrend. I would put my money on seeing a 50, 100% green day to slow down the rally, maybe end the rally, or maybe that's when the MOAS starts. That's really the three scenarios that happens, but I think all of them include a 50 to 100% rally kind of day, and that's why AMC stock could easily hit $50 to $100 here over the next couple of weeks. Not saying it has to happen tomorrow, but I do think as we get closer to August 22nd, there's going to be a lot more pressure on those hedge funds to buy real AMC shares so their synthetics do not get exposed. Now, for the broad markets, like I said in the beginning of this video, AMC is not immune to trends, and the trend for this week as far as earnings is concerned are your large retail companies, right? Tuesday pre-market, you have Walmart, Home Depot. Those are going to be very important in their own regards, right? And then you have TJ Maxx, Wednesday pre-market, Target, Lowe's. These companies are all going to be telling you things about the consumer, about how they are spending money, and depending on what they say, that's going to move the markets. I will say the good thing is that, Walmart has come out lower guidance. So did Lowe's, so did Target. Everyone has lowered their guidance, so there's not big expectations for these businesses and for the consumer overall. But this is one thing where if we get some really bad news, it wouldn't surprise me to see a really red day in the markets, especially as we have rallied so fast and so high in a very short amount of time when nothing has really changed in the economy. Some people would say, inflation just too high. It's not coming down fast enough. Well, we might get some more of those recession fears with these earnings. Now, as far as Thursday pre-market, you have Kohl's. You have a lot of other companies too, not as many that are well known, so I'm not even going to mention them. Wednesday after hours as well, you have Cisco and Bath and Body Works. That could be big. We'll see how that one is as well. And then on Thursday after hours, nothing really that's going to move the markets. Friday pre-market, you have John Deere, Foot Locker, and Buckle. Those ones could be somewhat important. Now, as far as economic data for this week, for Monday, you really don't have too much of anything. You do have New York Empire State Manufacturing Index that comes out, not expecting too big of a reaction off of that. Tuesday, 8:30 in the morning, you have building permits for July and housing starts for July as well. A lot of real estate data that comes out Tuesday in some of this pre-market, like the building permits and the housing starts. But even at 9:15 a.m. you have industrial production year over year and industrial production month over month. I think that could actually be a much bigger catalyst for the markets. That comes out at 9:15 a.m. on Tuesday, and this is in Eastern Standard Time. So there you have that. Wednesday, you have retail sales month over month for July, and this is going to be the big catalyst of this upcoming week. That is at 8:30 in the morning. You also have Fed Bowman that speaks at 9:30, and you do have a couple other Fed speakers as well. Fed Bowman at 2:20 p.m. later in the day, and then at 2 p.m. you have the Fed minutes. Now, this will be important as well because a lot of people are taking what the Fed said at the last FOMC meeting as basically they're going to slow down raising rates. Now, if the Fed minutes paint us a different picture that the Fed's not going to be slowing down, the verbiage that they used will be very important. Well, that could obviously sway the markets in one direction or the other. And I think we have just rallied so hard and so fast, a very historical rally, that to expect some downside from here should be expected. Now, Thursday, you do have initial jobless claims for August 13th, Philadelphia Fed Manufacturing Index. Last time that came out, it was terrible. It comes out at 8:30 in the morning on Thursday. Not expecting too much, but depending on if it beats or is a big miss, could be important. 10 o'clock in the morning, you have existing home sales for July. Existing home sales month over month for July will also be important for the real estate stocks and the real estate sector overall. Keep in mind, the real estate is the largest sector of the American economy. Everyone needs a house. So that is why some of that real estate data might be somewhat important. You have Fed George that speaks at 1:20 p.m. And depending on what these Fed speakers say, all of them, that will be very important. It will give us more guidance to go off of for that September 1st or 21st Fed meeting. Now, if we pull up the probability of a 75 basis point rate hike, we're sitting at 31%. And for a 50 basis point rate hike, we're sitting at 69%. Depending on what happens from now until September 21st, if that 75 basis point rate hike is still priced in by September 21st, well, that's what we are going to get. And you're probably going to see some downside in the markets, especially if that reading for inflation, September 11th, does not come down again. If that was a false peak, well, yeah, you're in for some problems throughout the month of September. September is historically the worst performing month of the stock market as well. I think that is warranted to put here in this video. Now, directly with AMC. As far as the option activity on Friday, lots of option activity. You've seen 151 orders totaling $17.64 million, positive order value of 81%. That is a lot. Over the past week, 749 orders totaling $88.74 million, positive order value of 71%. And if you look at the open interest for the next expirations, you're 67% of the total open interest for August 19th for this Friday is calls. So it's looking overwhelmingly bullish, at least until about September 16th, and that's where you have about a 50-50 ratio with the open interest, 50% being calls, 50% being puts. So it looks like over the next couple of weeks, hedge funds pretty dang bullish on AMC stock. Now let's pull up the short interest. We're looking at $2.39 billion worth of short positions on AMC stock, which is a pretty big deal if I do say so myself, especially coming down to August 22nd and what could happen around that time frame when the APE shares are given to legal shareholders of AMC stock. Now, estimated short interest of free float is sitting at 18.21%. Free float out on loan 27.2%. Shares out on loan 140.18 million. Days to cover 2.99. Cost to borrow 8.83%. And 100% share utilization. So that is key. That is pretty much going to be all for this video. The price prediction for AMC stock, yes, I wanted to save it until the end because I only want the real diehard AMC lovers to hear what I'm going to say, because some people are going to like it, some people are going to hate it. Some of you guys know, the last two price predictions have came true, but not all of them do. So this is not in any way, shape, or form to be construed as a buy recommendation, a sell recommendation, or anything else. You will lose money if you listen to people and what their opinions are. You will make money sometimes, but you should never just blatantly follow anyone for any reason. I don't care who they are. But in my personal opinion, I do think you get that 50% move probably someday this week. I think the momentum is really built up, and where we closed on Friday was key. Yes, it was a red day. The markets were green. Typically, when that happens, you end up seeing AMC outperforming during the next week or on the next red day in the market. So I do think AMC is at a very critical level where you have to see that big day. We might trade sideways this week, but I do think we will see a very big day at least one of these days. And on the lower end range, if we just draw a trend line from where we currently are at right now, if we got a 45% rally, that would put us at about $35.50 per share. If we got a 50% rally, that's going to put us about $36. And if we got a 65% rally, that would put us at about $40.40 per share. So I do think it's possible that you end this week in between $35 and $40 per share. That's really kind of what I personally expect. I just think, we've seen this story so many times, and the rally always ends with a big day. It always ends with a big day. The major rallies that we have seen, right? The one in June, and we're talking velocity here. We're talking just the overall price action, right? Just big moves. The rally ended in June with a big day. This rally in March ended with a big day. And I do think this rally that we are seeing now will also end with a big day. Let's just say the markets are bad and everything goes to shit while your 200-day moving average sitting at about $20.64 per share would be the low that I would expect. I don't see us breaking under the 200-day moving average. If we do, that is a very negative sign. We're above the 200-day moving average 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 closes in a row, whereas we have not been above this since November. Same thing with the 100-day moving average. We closed above it 1, 2, 3, 4 days in March during that March rally, and we are above it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days as of right now. Monday will be the 10th day. So I think all of this is very, very bullish, and I do think 35 to 40, that's kind of what I'm looking at. Even you might say 30. I wouldn't get too crazy with that because we might trade sideways but I think here over the next week or two at least, you will see that big green day, especially as we get closer to August 22nd. So that is going to be all for this video. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you guys have not already, and if you want to come trade with me live in real time, like I said, none of it's a recommendation. We have been doing very well over there. Hit that link down below in the description, make your way over there and come introduce yourself. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.